Small business optimism remaining historically high in October, in fact, unchanged from September, and the highest level since February. But there are some concerns. In fact, increased employment, the economy improving. Both of those dropped 5 points during the month. In November 2016, if you recall, small business optimism erupted right after the election of President Trump. And it really has staged an impressive rebound since COVID-19, and those lockdowns derailed all of the optimism. But the rebound feels tenuous, signaling a need for comfort. Ironically, small business owners say that there was strong momentum going into the fourth quarter, and expectations for higher earnings popped 9 points. Yet the uncertainty, again, it's at an all-time high. Here to help break it all down, I'm going to bring in small business expert Gene Marks. Gene, a conflicting report from the NFIB. How do you read it?
Well, so there are two things that are going on here among small businesses. First of all, although there are a lot of businesses and a lot of industries, retail, restaurants, travel, that have really suffered during this pandemic, I think it's a testament to the U.S. small businesses, the resilience that they've had. I mean, there's 30 million small businesses in this country, and most of them, many of my clients, even through all of these challenges, have been able to navigate their way through this year and have done it in a way that they are still in business and looking forward to growth. And I think that's really impressive. That's why their optimism has been high through October. However, Charles, we just had an election, and there is a big level of uncertainty. A lot of small business owners, my readers, my clients, about what a Biden administration would do. And I can tell you that even though we've been scared of higher taxes or more healthcare regulations, labor regulations, all sorts of things from Washington, the number one concern that's on small business owners' mind right now under a Biden administration is to not shut down the economy. And that is what's weighing very heavy on their minds as we head into rising cases and, as President Biden says, a dark winter.
As I read though, Gene, into the tea leaves, it feels like the Biden administration would lean heavily in that direction. In fact, I'm already reading reports where Joe Biden's going to reach out to states and ask them to curtail even Thanksgiving celebrations. And we do, of course, see where some of these more progressive cities and states have already begun to pull back. Now, no one wants to use the word lockdown, right? So these are greater restrictions. But to your point, I guess you can do anything as a small business person to survive as long as you're allowed to open.
Yeah, if you just give the business owners the opportunity to run their businesses, Charles, I think that most of them, if not a great majority of them, will be able to do so healthily and safely. But you have to give them the opportunity and the chance to do that. Just locking them down is tough. It's kind of scary. We're seeing what's going on in Europe right now, both Britain and France having shutdowns and potential more lockdowns as well. And it's sort of like this ominous tone, like we saw this, it's like deja vu. We saw this back in February. And it is frightening to hear, to think that, businesses could be shut down. And I think that's a big reason why, Biden lost Florida and why, his win was so razor thin, because a lot of think of Florida, for example. A lot of Hispanics, a lot of business owners of color voted against Joe Biden because these are people that don't want Washington to tell them when and how they should be doing their business. And they didn't want to be shut down. And I think that showed in the results in Florida. I think it showed in the results in a lot of other big cities around the country. So it's a big concern that we have going into the winter. And I really hope that the Biden administration takes that into consideration.
I hope so, too. And I also hope their zeal against big business doesn't hurt small business more. We've seen often where big businesses can sort of put a moat around themselves, hire a bunch of lawyers and accountants, and survive any kind of draconian backdrop that destroys their smaller rivals. Gene, I appreciate it always. I always enjoy our conversations. Thank you very much.